Hi beauties, welcome to my channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. For today, I wanted to do a really just gold, rose gold rich look. So I used the Huda Beauty Rose Gold palette. Of course, that would be perfect for a rose gold look. So this is the look that I came up with. I also used the NYX glitter, which is what's going across here. So that is not from the Huda Beauty palette, but everything else on the eyes is. But I also used the rose gold lipstick from Jouer, so I went all rose gold with this look. So without further ado, if you guys are interested in seeing how to get this look, then please make sure to subscribe and please stay tuned.
Hey beauties. All right, now getting started with these brows. I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in chocolate, and I'm just using that to outline my brows. It's just easier to get the line straight when using a pencil. And I've been trying different things with my brows between this Brow Wiz and the Dip Brow and my Brow Obsession palette with Unique. So right now what I'm currently doing is lining my brows with the Brow Wiz from Anastasia Beverly Hills. And here you'll see me, I'm filling in my brows using the Brow Obsession palette from Unique. And it has two brow powders in there, a dark brown and like a chocolate brown. And I use the dark brown on the ends and the chocolate brown in the front. And then I like to brush through my brows with the spoolie just to distribute the powder more and make sure it's not too heavy and doesn't look like too unnatural. Then I'm just using my Unique Skin Perfecting Concealer in Charmeuse and cleaning up my brows. And that is a Unique Artist Duo brow brush as well that I'm using to clean up my brows. So that's what I'm doing right now. It has a flat end and it also has a tapered end. That is what I use for the powder, and then I use this end, of course, to clean up my brows with the concealer. So it's just a nice duo brush. And then I'm using my BH Cosmetics brow gel in dark brown just to set my brows and make sure that they do not go anywhere. Now I'm going in with my Wet n Wild concealer in medium, I believe, and I'm using that as an eye base to get my eyelids to be an even color, because naturally my eyelids are not an even color, and this will help my eyeshadow to set better. Now I'm going in with the Huda Beauty Rose Gold palette, and I just went in with Sandalwood as my transition color, and that's just like a light tan color, and I just like to blend that into the crease. Next I'm going in with the color Henna. It's like a burnt orange color, and I'm just using that right in my crease underneath where I apply Sandalwood, and just blending that out, blending the two colors and then blending it out into the corner of my eye. The more colors you layer, the more you will get the effect of like the gradient. So that's what I'm trying to get right now. And I saw I needed to blend just a little more. And then I went in with Cocoa, which is a brown color. And I'm just blending that right underneath my crease, like at the very top of my lid. And I'm only keeping that right in the middle part. I'm not going out and like I did with henna. So just in the round of my eye, right on the top of my lid, and blending those colors together, trying to create the gradients. You just really have to blend a lot. This is fast forwarded, and right now I'm using a blending brush that has no product on it to blend everything together. But this is this is fast forwarded, so you definitely want to take your time blending. Next I went in with Man Eater, and I'm just blending that right on top where I blended Sandalwood, because I wanted to bring a little bit more color into this look. And I'm just blending and making sure that that is blending into all the colors seamlessly. So I'm using my blending brush with no product on it again. Then I wanted to brighten up the look a little bit more, so I went into Flamingo, and I added that on top of the color Man Eater, just to give more of a gradient effect. And I'm just blending back and forth and making sure that the colors are blending together seamlessly and that the gradients are still there. Then once again going back in with the big blending brush with no product on it and just blending everything together to make sure everything is blending seamlessly. And then when I feel like it's too harsh in the front, sometimes I'll just use my finger and rub it a little because your fingers are really good with blending shadows as well. I'm back in my Wet n Wild concealer, and I'm using a very flat, thin brush to achieve my cut crease. I'm just doing like a third cut crease, but I'm going to cut it all the way and then shade the corners. So right now I have hooded lids. So when I cut my crease, I just go over that fold of skin and I just line it right on top of that area because that way you can see my lid. Because when I look down, you see how much lid space I have, but when I open my eye, all of that is covered by the skin that folds over. So that is the problems hooded lid girls have. And now I'm just blending in my NYX eye base with this just to make it a little bit whiter.
No.
Then I'm going into Man Eater, and I'm going in with a flat brush right around the line where I created the crease just to define it a little more, and then back in with the concealer to define it once again. I just wanted to make sure that I had the gradients that I want for this cut crease, which is why I went in with the flat brush. And then I'm just blending everything out with the blending brush and back in with the concealer. Literally just going back and forth doing that until I felt like it was perfect. Now that I've gotten the shape I want, I'm using my Beyond Translucent Powder to set the concealer. And then I went right back into my Huda Beauty palette, and I'm using the color Trust Fund, and I'm using that as my lid color. I really wanted this look to be very rose goldy, so I just used a lot of coppery tones and pink tones. And as you can see, that's where I'm applying the Trust Fund. And so with the Trust Fund, I used that copper color with my finger. And I don't know if they changed the formula, but to me it seems like the shimmer colors work better with a brush now than they do with your fingers. And I know at first I kept on seeing people saying they only work good with your fingers, but they seem to work better with the brush for me personally. So I just decided to go in with the brush after I went in so much with it. Then I just wanted to add a little bit more shimmer to the front, so I went into Angelic and rubbed that and then blended it out with my finger. Then I'm going into my NYX Gold Liner in Crystal Gold and just going right over my cut crease in that line where the two separate. I'm using this gold glitter to add a little bit more pizzazz to the look. And then I'm using my Extreme Gold NYX. And with this liner, you really want to take your time because when it applies kind of streaky a little. So you have to go back over it a few times to get the opaqueness that you want. And then it was a little too light, so I went back in with my NYX matte liner in black. And I went over that gold liner, but I still want the gold liner to outline the black liner. So I didn't completely cover the gold liner, and I'm going to go back into the gold liner after I'm done with the black liner, just to outline the black liner. To keep it all nice and rose goldy and gold toned, I thought this was a really pretty look. And you can see I'm just taking my time doing that wing liner, making sure everything is perfect. Then going back in with my gold liner like I was telling you and outlining that black liner because I wanted to have that effect. Then using my concealer to clean up the liner with a flat end brush. And then I'm just applying the colors I applied on my crease on the bottom of my eye. So first I went into Sandalwood, then Henna, and then Man Eater and Cocoa. And I just blended those out underneath my eye. And then for my inner corner highlight, I used the color Moon Dust, and I'm just blending that in to my inner corner to bring a little light. Then I'm just using this black liner I got from an Ipsy bag and tight lining, and then I'm using my Maybelline Big Shot mascara. Then I'm going to be moisturizing my face with this Peerless face moisturizer that I got from an Ipsy bag as well. Then this is the Becca Evermatte Poreless Primer, and I like to use this. First, I apply it to the areas where I do have pores, and then I spread it throughout my face, and then I like to set my primer, so I'm using my Beyond translucent powder to set the primer. Now I'm going in with my foundation, and I'm using the LA Girl Pro Conceal foundation in Warm Caramel. And I'm just applying it with my brush, and I'm going to use a brush to blend it out. And once I'm finished with the brush, then I will go in with my Beauty Blender sponge to take off any excess foundation, as well as just help to make sure everything is blended and nothing is streaky. So I'm just taking my time. Next, I'm going in with my Wet n Wild concealer, and I'm just applying to all the areas I want to highlight. It looks like a little angel. I saw that after I did it. Look at my little angel. So create an angel on your face and then blend it out. And I'm just using my sponge to blend. It has two ends on it, so I'm kind of going between each end, the flat end and the cone end, to get into the areas that I need to, close to my eye, and then blending further out. It takes a lot of blending, so make sure you take your time, because when you see it on the video, when we're showing it here, it is fast forwarded. So right now I just put on the Behold translucent powder because I like to set my whole face with that powder. But then I will be baking my face using the Sacha Buttercup powder. Now this is Beautiful Bronze in LA Girl Pro Conceal that I'm using to contour my face. And I'm just blending that out with the stippling brush. I like using a stippling brush to blend out my contour. I feel like it does a really good job of just keeping it in the area that you want it to, and just really getting it into your skin. And then for my nose, I use my sponge because it's a small area. And you see my daughter, I was talking the whole time because you see what I have to deal with. Did y'all see her? She did that on purpose. But yeah, I'm just using my Anastasia Beverly Hills and blending into my contour and setting that with the powder. And I like to bake with my Sacha Buttercup powder because it has a yellow tint. I feel translucent powder kind of just takes away from my color. So now I'm using my Jouer Rose Gold lipstick. It's like this beautiful metallic-y rose gold. And then there's also a rose gold lip topper that I'm going to put right on top of that, just to add a little bit more pizzazz, because it has like sparkles in it. And I have the glitter on my eyes, so I just wanted to go all the way with it, okay? Go all the way. And excuse my head rag, you guys, I got makeup all over it. And I was just didn't feel like having my wig on while I was doing my makeup, so that's why you see it this way. Now I'm applying the gold glitter on the outside of the wing because I just wanted to have a little bit of glitter there. And then this is the Saharan Volume 2 blush palette that I used. And then for the highlight, this is the Wet n Wild Plush Petals, I believe. And I'm using that as my highlight. This highlighter is bomb. The Wet n Wild highlighters are like a must for the drugstore. They are so good. And so I'm using that to just get my glow going. And I'm going to use my brush to blend it out. Then I'm going to use my sponge to blend it in some more. And then I am all done, you guys. This is the finished look. This is my rose gold look. Please make sure to subscribe to see more, and thank you guys so much for watching. Mwah.